Hello friends, and we're back, episode 2, and I finally decided on a name for the vlog. Welcome to Catherine's Quarters. I'm so excited because every week I'm going to post a vlog and it's probably going to be split into 4 different quarters of all the things that I want to talk about. Sometimes it'll be the morning versus afternoon games and Monday games at the end. Sometimes I'll just make the executive decision to not do quarters and just talk about whatever I feel like. But since it's week 1 of the NFL and we just closed it out with Monday Night Football, very good 2 games might I add, I'm going to start out doing this in quarters. The Thursday night game happened, but we didn't really learn anything from it. So I'm going to start with Sunday's afternoon games. And of course, being the huge Eagles fan that I am, I'm going to start out with the Eagles and the Redskins. So the Redskins came to visit the Eagles in Philly, and the Eagles came out looking like hot garbage. They couldn't catch a pass to save their life, dropped balls all over the field. They couldn't tackle to save their life, just letting guys run by them. And then Carson Wentz remembered that he had Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson is back, everybody. And if you didn't catch the game, you should catch the highlights because it's just like it was a couple of years ago before Chip Kelly came in and ruined everything. Deshaun Jackson caught his first 50-yard bomb from Carson Wentz, and it's all she wrote. We came back, I say we because I'm a huge Philly fan, in case you didn't notice. They came back from 17 down. Like, it was literally 17-0, looking terrible. And they came back from 17 down to win the game 32-27. Now, the score makes it sound like the game was a little bit closer, but just after that second bomb from Carson Wentz to Deshaun Jackson, it was kind of like all she wrote. Now, that's not how I felt during the game. I was kind of concerned because, I told you in the first half, the defense wasn't really tackling. And then I saw little spurts of the same thing happening again, and I wasn't happy. But they pulled out a win, and so I'm happy. Deshaun Jackson went for 154 yards, 2 TDs, and of course Zach Ertz had like a quiet 54 yards. I think he had like 3 touches, and of course Darren Sproles touched the ball a lot. Miles Sanders played really well his rookie season, so I'm sure we'll see more from him. So it was just all around good day for the offense. The defense, they'll get a little better. We didn't really hear Fletcher Cox's name a whole lot on defense. We did hear Brandon Graham because we love him in Philadelphia. But I think this is a promising season for them, so I'm excited. They got their first divisional win under their belt, and now we just have to make sure we take care of business in the rest of the divisional games, and of course for the regular season. Speaking of division rivalries, the Cowboys. I don't want to talk about them, but I'm going to talk about them because they played the Giants on Sunday afternoon, and they look good, guys. They look good, and it pains me to say, it pains me. But they look good. Zeke is back and it barely even mattered. Dak was throwing the ball all over the field like he's just having a field day. He was hitting Amari Cooper for 25 yards and 50 and 30 and 40 and whatever. Michael Gallup for 7 targets. 7 targets, and he caught all 7 of them. Like, just angry. And Jason Witten, he came out of the TV booth, and now he's back on the field catching passes and just doing what he's supposed to do, because I used to love having Jason Witten on my fantasy football team. We'll talk about fantasy later, that's a whole other story. But Jason Witten is back. And then you have Zeke, and then you have Zeke's backup, Tony Pollard. Like, and their defense looks good. You guys, I hate to say it, they look good. They look really good. But it was against the Giants. It's a divisional game, but it was against the Giants. The Giants just lost their 2 best defensive players. The Giants have Eli Manning, a quarterback who, forgive me Giants fans, but Eli Manning, he's the struggle. The struggle. He looks like the struggle. Every time he steps out on the field, he just looks like the struggle. Unless he's passing it to Saquon, then he looks smart. Because Saquon is the best player on their team. Nobody's going to argue that fact. Saquon is the best player on that team. And I was hoping it was going to go a little bit different. There was like that little piece of me that was like, maybe the Cowboys could lose to the Giants and it'll just be another thing that's so funny about the Cowboys because we love to laugh at the Cowboys. But no. Can't count on the Giants for that. Just can't count on them. That was just, it was ugly. It was ugly. And Cowboys look good. So that NFC East Championship game, Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. I want to talk about Sunday Night Football. Patriots, Steelers, just, some people call it a rivalry, but I feel like it can't be a rivalry if you always get your behind handed to you. Sorry, Steelers. But, I mean, that just is what it is. You always give them good run for your money. We love you, Mike Tomlin. Like, that type of thing. And this game was no different. But I want to start with Antonio Brown, because Antonio Brown is now a wide receiver for the Patriots. How he got here, I'm not actually entirely sure, but I'll give you the rundown of events. Thursday, he potentially was going to get suspended. He got into a fight with Mike Mayock. Vontaze Burfict, of all people, one of the dirtiest players in the league, is the one who's like trying to hold him back and trying to keep him from acting a fool and trying to be the voice of reason. Who would have seen that coming? And then he asked to be cut, and then he eventually gets released, and then he releases this video on social media showing him being all excited about getting released. And it's just like, who gets excited about getting released, and who gets excited about not getting $30 million? Antonio Brown does. So then hours later, like within 4 hours, the Patriots have signed Antonio Brown. And they give him like $9 million guaranteed. It's a 1-year deal, so like he has to behave himself. And if you know anything about the Patriots organization, like they're kind of a no-nonsense place. Like it's like you send guys there to like get better and like rehab them from their bad behavior. And if anybody can do it, it's Bill Belichick. But if anybody's going to be the one to not get rehab going to the Patriots, it's going to be Antonio Brown. But who knows? Who knows? I don't know how he's going to fit in, because they got Josh Gordon back, who I'm happy for him. You know, side note, I think it's great that he's like trying to get his life together and put the drugs down and all of that good stuff. And from the game, it looks like he's going to be good. So now Antonio Brown plays for the Patriots, and we'll see how that goes, because I just got a notification that Antonio Brown has been accused of allegedly sexually assaulting some trainer who used to go to school with him or something. It literally came to my phone like 3 minutes ago. So insane. The turn of events is stressing me to no end, because also about 3 hours ago when I was driving home, I got an ESPN notification that the Patriots released wide receiver Demaryius Thomas. So their depth chart has like fluctuated and like gone all over the place, and I don't know what they're gonna do, but it's the Patriots and they always figure it out, and they're gonna be in the Super Bowl next year, so who really cares? That's just what it's gonna be, because they're the Patriots. Alright guys, so I want to talk about Monday Night Football, but I want to talk about the Texans-Saints game, not the Raiders-Broncos game. Raiders won, it's fine, had nothing to do with Antonio Brown. Here we are. So the Texans-Saints, this explosion of offenses, and it was just so fun to watch. But what I really want to talk about is the last 50 seconds of the game. The whole game, it's Drew Brees to Michael Thomas, or pass handed off to Alvin Kamara, or DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson were just like in sync. And you know, Kenny Stills got in there, he just landed with the Texans, and they were clicking. They were just doing what they do, and it was so amazing to see. Deshaun Watson did get sacked 6 times though, and if the Texans want to make it far and keep this kid and like, you know, really develop him as a quarterback, they're gonna have to protect him a little bit better than they've been doing, because 6 times, you're not keeping a quarterback like that. You're just not. And you could even see him go into the medical tent every once in a while to get his back rubbed down or whatever, and it's just not good. 6 sacks ain't good. I think he was the most sacked quarterback in the league last year, so he's gonna be on pace to get more than he had last year, and you're just not gonna win like that. It's just not gonna happen. But you know, you have these 2 great quarterbacks, Drew Brees, this other 40-year-old quarterback who we don't ever talk about in being 40 the way we talk about Tom Brady being 40, but like always at the top of the list for the, you know, best passers in the league, and just he has so many weapons on offense. It's just hard not to talk about Drew Brees, and he's just epic, amazing. But the last 50 seconds, Deshaun Watson gets the ball back, and you're thinking, they don't have any timeouts, they're just gonna figure it out. 2 plays, 75 yards, touchdown to Kenny Stills. Well, dang. So you would think that 37 seconds is enough to like sit comfortably and feel good about they had a 1-point lead, but whatever. But they had a lead, so they would have won. But there was Drew Brees. Drew Brees knew exactly where he had to get to. He knew exactly which marker he had to make it to so that Will Lutz could kick a field goal. And you know what Will Lutz did? Will Lutz kicked a 58-yard field goal. Like it could have been a 69-yarder. It was amazing. And it was just, you would think in 50 seconds that not, what can really happen in 50 seconds? But even in football, 50 seconds is plenty of time for a quarterback to get down the field, score a touchdown, win a game. And it's like, who would have thought? But it was so much fun to watch and so exciting. So now that we're in the fourth quarter, I want to talk about some other storylines that happened from Sunday and Monday, but they're not necessarily like breaking news. Not the most important thing that happened, but just things we should watch out for in the future. So the Browns, they got their behinds beat by the Tennessee Titans. Now the Tennessee Titans are like what I feel like is a middle of the road team. Like they're not at the forefront of your mind, but they're not also like just the trash of the league. It's just not that. Ooh, that sounds so bad, but whatever, here we are. They got beat down. Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns have been like, people have been talking about them like they're supposed to be this like powerhouse and this like super amazing team coming into the season. They got Odell Beckham Jr. and they have Jarvis Landry and they have Nick Chubb and they're supposed to be this great team, and then they come out and they look terrible. Baker Mayfield throws 3 interceptions, and I believe they had more than 100 yards in penalties. You're not winning any football game with more than 100 yards in penalties. That you are beating yourself. You're not even letting the other team beat you. You are beating yourself. And that's dumb. Because why would you want to beat yourself? Why? Like, make smarter decisions. Be more disciplined in your football playing. Like, just do better. All around, just do better. I'm going to tell you like I told Antonio, Browns, get it together. Because otherwise, you're going to squander your opportunity to win some games. Like this one. Like, not that they should have won this game, but you probably could have won this game. You probably could have shown like a little more. 100 yards in penalties is just mind-boggling to me. How did you do that? Why would you do that? Like, I feel like after getting 50 yards worth of penalties, you'd be like, man, we really need to tighten up. But you got 100 yards in penalties and like kept going? Beyond me. So the next team I want to talk about is Miami Dolphins. They have too much going on. Just too much. They are in kind of what feels like a shambly situation. I can't even begin to explain. Like, they have management versus player issues, and guys, if I got beat down 59-10 by the Baltimore Ravens, I'd probably want to take a different job elsewhere too. It was reported that guys were like, I'd like to get traded on the phone. I'd like to get traded. Who's trading me? When are you trading me? I'd like to go. I'm out. What's that SpongeBob meme that everybody's been tossing around Instagram? I'm head out now. Because that's how they feel. After you beat down 59-10, that's how I would feel too. Craziness. Just insanity. I don't know what they got going on, but we are going to have to watch over the next couple of weeks because, boy. Whew, I don't even know what else to say about that. It's just, whew. And then I'm going to talk about the other side of that game, which was the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson. I don't know what he was on. And not to say, like, I'm not trying to say that he's, like, actually on drugs. I'm just like, y'all scored 59 points? Like, Lamar Jackson was going off every other day. Every other time I turned around, I get on Twitter to go do my little play-by-play action and, you know, give my little commentary on the Eagles games, and mostly the Eagles game because that's what time the Baltimore Ravens played. They played at the same time. Lamar Jackson, another touchdown. Lamar Jackson, another touchdown. Like, just, it's constant touchdowns from Lamar Jackson all over the Miami Dolphins, looking crazy. And he gave a great soundbite at the end, and I love when players troll reporters and the media and the journalists who will like ask them crazy things or say ridiculous things about them or rude things. He was like, it's not bad for a running back, because people kept saying that he can't throw, like all he does is run, blah blah blah. But it was just cute. Like, it just, you know, have fun with it, play with it a little bit, and not like take anything too seriously. And I guess when you beat a team 59-10, and it was pretty much Lamar meeting them 59-10. Like, I know we say this is a team sport, but Lamar Jackson was on his job. I'd play like that too. Hi friends, so I'm an idiot and was so exhausted the other night, forgot to end this vlog properly, but thank you so much for watching, and be sure to follow me on Twitter at Model Journalist, because Thursday Night Football is here and you know I'll be tweeting about it. See you guys next week.